कनेक्टिविटी है, लेकिन हमारे गढ़चिरौली चिमूर लोकसभा क्षेत्र में ऐसे सैकड़ों गांव हैं उसमें कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है और कनेक्टिविटी से वंचित है, इसलिए वो कम्युनिकेशन हो नहीं पाता। पीडीएस सिस्टम के द्वारा जो राशन दुकान से आप 5 किलो फ्री अनाज देते हैं और बाकी वो जो अन्न सुरक्षा कानून के अंतर्गत अनाज मिलता है वह मशीन पर अंगूठा लगाए बिना दिया नहीं जाता। लेकिन इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी नहीं होने के वजह से
आपके सदस्य प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं।
धन्यवाद महोदय। राष्ट्रीय खनिज विकास निगम एनएमडीसी इस्पात मंत्रालय का नवरत्न सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र का उद्यम है जो भारत के लौह अयस्क का सबसे बड़ा उत्पादक है। छत्तीसगढ़ के दंतेवाड़ा में बैलाडीला की पहाड़ी पर एनएमडीसी की खदान से भारी मात्रा में पानी आने से किरंदुल शहर में तबाही मची हुई है। गरीब आदिवासियों की जीवन भर की पूंजी बह गई, सैकड़ों लोग घायल हो गए, कई विकलांग हो गए, मकान दुकान ढह गए, सड़क गाड़ियां बह गई। राज्य सरकार द्वारा चेक डैम की दीवार टूटने की बात कही गई है और पीड़ितों को मात्र 20,000 रुपये की आर्थिक सहायता दी गई है। महोदय, एनएमडीसी ने पहाड़ी पर कई एकड़ में 11 अस्थायी चेक डैम बना रखे हैं। इनकी कोई मजबूत स्थायी दीवार नहीं है। जहां बारिश होने पर एनएमडीसी द्वारा मिट्टी के मेड़ को हटाया गया जिससे किरंदुल शहर में बाढ़ आ गई है। अतः आपके माध्यम से मेरा निवेदन है कि इस प्रकरण की उच्च स्तरीय जांच कराई जाए, एनएमडीसी द्वारा पीड़ितों को हुए नुकसान की पूरी भरपाई की जाए, घायलों को नौकरी दी जाए और अस्थायी चेक डैम को पक्का किया जाए जिससे भविष्य में अनहोनी को रोका जाए। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद।
Thank you, respected Speaker. I also want to thank my party leadership for giving me an opportunity to speak on this very important subject.
Thank you.
Railways has been a very important part of India's economy. I would rather say one of the very important engines that drives India's economy. And it is also important for the common man, we say Aam Sadharan Indian, to meet that last mile of his goal, his dreams. But today we are seeing the railways is becoming out of reach for that poor man, the poor Indian. The railway fares has gone up. Today, there is an uncertainty. There is a fear in the common man when he travels in the train. Is there safety? What if there is an accident? In the last 10 years, we have seen the worst number of accidents that have happened, leading to huge loss of life, loss of property. Now, speaking about the budget, the allocation, what has been done for the railways. Now, we have this expenditure of railways, which is financed through internal resources, budgetary support, and extra budgetary resources. Revenue expenditure in 2024-25 has been projected as 2,75,700 crores, an increase of 7% over the revised estimate of 2023-24. How are we going to meet this target? Capital expenditure is estimated to be 2,65,200 crores, an increase of 2% over revised estimate of 2023-24. Speaker sir, 95% of this expenditure is estimated to be financed through budgetary allocation. That means today we are speaking about how to meet the requirement of the railways for the goals that they have set in the budget. Now, it's very important to know the internal revenue of the Indian Railways. That is through passenger, through freight and other sources. internal revenue of the railways is used for funding its working expenses, which includes salaries and pensions. Passenger revenue at 80,000 crore is expected to see a 10% growth. Now, if we look at this, Speaker Sir, we are surprised to see that the railways is trying to increase its revenue through freight. And what is the most important cargo that they are targeting is coal. Now, coal is becoming the most important cargo for railways. We have to remember, in September 2018, the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi was conferred the title of Champion of the Earth. What it meant? That he has taken a very important step for protecting the environment. Ironically, coal is detrimental to environment. So we are speaking in opposite languages. One side, the Pradhan Mantri is conferred a title as the Champion of the Earth, and in India, we are promoting the transportation of coal. Now, how this coal is detrimental, I want to give an example of my own state, Goa. Goa, or I would rather refer to my friends from Kerala. The people of Kerala say Kerala is God's own country. And the people in Goa say Goa is the favorite holiday destination of God. God resides in Goa. We are dependent on tourism. After 1961 liberation, the three main occupations were mining, agriculture and tourism. Because of some wrong policies, somehow agriculture is on the wane. Despite nowadays giving credit to the youth clubs, to also the agriculture department of Goa, which is trying their best, and also organization NGOs like Goincha Fulle Pilge Khatir, who are working to revive agriculture in Goa. Otherwise, we are dependent of the produce in the neighboring states of Karnataka. Now, despite all these efforts, mining in any case, there is a bend. So we are looking at the only organized sector, that is tourism. But when we are transporting coal through railways, coal is detrimental to the survival of tourism. Coal is responsible for the environmental destruction. It is causing destruction of the fields, of the rivers. It is affecting the business of the fishermen. Now, railways, especially RVNL, Rail Vikas Nigam, they are concentrating on laying a double track in Goa from Thinaigat to Vasco da Gama. Now what is happening is, this double track is being laid in residential areas, through agricultural lands, through CRZ zones, in violation of CRZ rules. Recently, the Goa Coastal Zone regulations, which are there, GCZMA, they passed strictures against RVNL for violating the CRZ rules. They have destroyed the creek in a village called Velsaun.
माननीय कैप्टन साहब स्टार्ट करें.
Yes, sir, I'll finish.
Sir, अभी
2 years back, they, because of some filling of the land, they closed the mouth of the river Kushavati. The Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, has passed strictures in which they said double tracking in Goa is of no additional revenue. There is no logic in it, because double tracking through Goa is going to destroy the wildlife sanctuary, national parks. It's totally detrimental to the environment. Now, if coal is the goose that is giving golden eggs to the railways, railways should not kill the goose that is giving golden eggs to Goa, and that is tourism.
धन्यवाद.
So I'll just finish.
धन्यवाद.
In Goa, we have beautiful temples, beautiful beaches,
आपका
beautiful
समय
churches.
समय समाप्त. माननीय
Sir,
खत्म
1 minute, I'll conclude, sir. We can increase the revenue by putting additional trains on Konkan railways, give additional trains to Velankani, to Pandharpur, to Mathura, to all the religious places. And that is how we can generate revenue instead of killing and destroying the environment. And lastly, sir, the railways a few months back decided to get into taxi service. These are misplaced priorities. Are you going to drive a train or you're going to drive a taxi? Because the only business what unemployed youth in Goa are doing are driving taxis, becoming
Dhanyavad.
motorcycle pilots, and you are trying to get into that business.
Dhanyavad.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for getting this opportunity to speak in the discussion of demands for grants for railways. I'm happy to see Honorable Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav is here, because I am raising about the only one matter related with Angamali Shabari. Sir, I am representing the constituency Idiki. My district is Idiki, and Idiki district comes under the purview of Indian Railway due to Angamali Shabari project. There is no other railway connectivity through my place. Our only hope is Angamali Shabari, and you must know, sir, how much pain we are suffering for this project. Last 26 years, we are waiting for Angamali Shabari, but this government, nothing has done. That is, I am very sorry to say. And Honorable Minister is very much aware, I already pointed out. Sir, last week there were an answer from Honorable Minister's side towards our Honorable Member Adur Prakash and an unstarred question raised by me. That answer was politically motivated. I am sorry to say that, because government's intention doesn't start Angamali Shabari, and government is changing the priority to Chenganur Pamba. Sir, from Kerala state, from the Chief Minister's side, 3 times Kerala government given the commitment to Government of India for 50% of cost sharing. Firstly, in the year 2016, by our Chief Minister, late Sri Umman Chandy, given the commitment 50-50 share. And then the second government, that means the present LDF government, withdrew that support. But they committed in 2021. They given the letter here. Again in 2023, last year, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan given the commitment to Government of India. Government of India got 3 times opportunity to defreeze this project, but nothing has done. And again, lastly, our Transport Secretary, yes, he has given a letter to Railway Ministry, requested to Railway Board Chairman to extend Angamali Shabari Railway project up to Vizhinjam Port via Pathanamthitta, Punalur and Nedumgad. Sir's intention is very clear. State Railway Minister also given a letter, our first priority for Angamali Shabari only. And I don't know where from that demand Chenganur Pamba is came. We are not against Chenganur Pamba. We are not against any railway network. But our demand only after the completion of Angamali Shabari, after the completion of this project only, this government should start the Chenganur Pamba. That is our demand. Sir, the Transport Secretary given the letter again. Lastly, our State Railway Minister given the letter to here. But this government didn't respond to that letters. And again asking to the state government, you should give the commitment. I don't know why. Sir, secondly, Honorable Minister answered, there is a public agitation is going on. I don't know where. Where is the public agitation against Angamali Shabari project? We are not knowing about that. All the public, that means the public, whoever residing in that project area, they are supporting this project very much. And Minister answered, there is a public demand for Chenganur Pamba. I don't know who is behind that. Anyway, I said, we are not against that project, but after the completion of Angamali Shabari. Sir, I would like to point out 2-3 things. The proposed Chenganur Pamba line goes up to Pamba, whereas the Angamali Shabari line terminates about 33 kilometers Pamba, which will not be convenient for pilgrims. This is the justification of Honorable Minister. Sir, I want to point out one thing. The earlier sanctioned Angamali Shabari project, that was up to the point of Pamba. But due to the stiff resistance of Forest Department, it had to be terminated before Pamba, that is at Erumeli. If we are getting the Forest Department sanction, we can extend this Angamali Shabari project up to Pamba. There is no restriction, there is no objection from there. If the Forest Department is permitting, we can extend up to Pamba. Sir, the total distance to Sabarimala Shrine, 80% of the pilgrims are coming from the northern side. That means the states from Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. They are entering through Sabarimala via Angamali only. If we are taking Angamali as a common point, Angamali to Pamba via Erimeli only taking 145 kilometers. If we are traveling through Changanur, it is taking 201 kilometers. Sir, it is clear from the above, there is a saving of 56 kilometers for a pilgrim if he chooses Angamali Shabari line to reach Pamba. Sir, apart from that, the traditional way to Sabarimala through Erimeri only, because there is a Petathulal is going on, all the pilgrims are participating that Petathulal before entering Sabarimala Shrine. That is a fact. That's why the traditional way through Erimeli only, sir. Sir, I want to point out one thing more. That is, Changanur Pamba rail line, it is useful only at the time of Sabarimala season. That is only for 45 days. But we can use this Angamali Shabari project as a third parallel line of Kerala. We can pass through Sabarimala, we can pass through Erimeli towards Punalur. Punalur is the entrance of Tamil Nadu also. And we can extend that project up to the Vizhinjam seaport. That is our new demand. Kerala state officially given the letter to extend this project up to Vizhinjam seaport. Sir, there are a lot of opportunities. In my understanding, sir, the proposed Changanur Pamba line is costing 9,000 crore. But earlier project, that means Angamali Shabari only of 3,801. It was admitted by Railway Department. The revised estimate already admitted by the Southern Railway. And then why they are denying this Angamali Shabari? That I want to know. Sir, the State Railway Minister lastly written the letter about the priority matter, and I am not repeating this, sir. That, sir. Sir, as far as I am concerned, I am repeating. I am concluding. Lastly, sir, my concern is Idukki district have this only opportunity for railway connectivity. There is no other options. And moreover that, this third parallel line will helpful for the tourism sector development. And it is passing through the agricultural and plantation area, the goods movement of agricultural and plantation sector. It is very much helpful. And for tourists, it is very much helpful. And also, lastly, I am concluding, we 26 MPs from Kerala, together given submission to Government of India, together given submission to Honorable Railway Minister. Railway Minister is aware about that. And state government is again and again saying the priority must be for Angamali Shabari project. So my humble demand here, defreeze Angamali Shabari project very immediately and complete that project very immediately. By these words I am concluding. Thank you very much.
तो आपने मुझे रेल बजट पे बोलने का मौका दिया। रेल बजट तो रहा नहीं, सामान्य बजट में जो रेल का प्रावधान रखा है उस पर बोलने का मौका दिया। महोदया, मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, ये जो प्रावधान रखे हैं रेल के लिए अपर्याप्त हैं। इसमें ना रेलवे यात्रियों का ध्यान रखा गया है, ना रेलवे कर्मियों का ध्यान रखा हुआ है, ना सुरक्षा का ध्यान रखा गया है, ना आधुनिकीकरण का ध्यान रखा गया है। ये बजट पूर्णतः गैर जिम्मेदाराना और राजनीतिक बजट पेश किया है। महोदया, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, ना तो कोई नई ट्रेन चलाई गई है, ना जो वर्तमान ट्रेन चल रही है उनकी गति बढ़ाई गई है, और ना ये रेल यात्रियों को कोई सुविधा दी गई है। मैं इससे उदाहरण देके आपको बताना चाहता हूं। महोदया, कोरोना का बहाना लेके मेरे क्षेत्र में 2 ट्रेन बंद की गई थी। कोरोना समाप्त हो गया, अभी भी वो ट्रेन बंद है। ट्रेन है, नाम बताता हूँ आपको, ट्रेन है कोरोना में बंद की गई मुंबई से फिरोजपुर तक चलने वाली गाड़ी संख्या 19023 व फिरोजपुर से मुंबई चलने वाली जनता एक्सप्रेस 19024 कोरोना का बहाना करके बंद किया गया था। कोरोना चलेगा, ये ट्रेन अभी भी नहीं चल रही है। मैं सरकार से मांग करता हूँ इस ट्रेन को चलाई जाए। इसी तरह महोदया, मेरे निर्वाचन क्षेत्र में सवाई माधोपुर और गंगापुर सिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट वो कस्बे पड़ते हैं। एक भी ट्रेन सुबह 9:30 से और रात के 7 बजे तक गंगापुर से दिल्ली के लिए आने के लिए नहीं है। वो गंगापुर व्यापार का बहुत बड़ा केंद्र है, हज़ारों हमारे बच्चे व्यापारी यहाँ आते हैं, कोचिंग का बहुत बड़ा सेंटर है, मजदूर हमारे दिल्ली में मजदूरी करने आते हैं, लाखों लोगों के इसके कारण, कोरोना के कारण वो स्टॉप बंद कर दिए। मैं सरकार से आग्रह करता हूँ, कोरोना के कार्यकाल में, कोरोना काल में जो स्टॉप बंद किए थे गंगापुर और सवाई माधोपुर से दिल्ली आने के लिए, उनको पुनः चालू किया जाए। इसी तरह मैडम, जो रेलवे एक्सीडेंट्स हो रहे हैं इस पर कोई ध्यान नहीं दे रहा। माननीय वैष्णव जी एक ऐसी कुर्सी पे बैठे हैं जिसपे बहुत जिम्मेवार लोग बैठे थे। एक महापुरुष थे स्वर्गीय लाल बहादुर शास्त्री, वो भी किसी ज़माने में रेलवे मंत्री हुआ करते थे। उनसे किन्हीं ने एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ, किसी ने इस्तीफ़ा नहीं मांगा, उन्होंने अपनी नैतिक जिम्मेवारी लेके इस्तीफ़ा दिया। मैं कोई उम्मीद नहीं करता हूँ और ना इनका इस्तीफ़ा मांगता हूँ, पर ये महसूस तो करें ये किस कुर्सी पे बैठे हैं। अब लगातार एक्सीडेंट, एक हो गया, दो हो गया, तीन, किसी की जवाबदेही तय हो। सरकार ये तो बना, इसके लिए जिम्मेवार कौन है? राजीव प्रताप रूडी जिम्मेवार हैं या कोई और जिम्मेवार है? उसका नाम बताएं। अंत में महोदया, मेरी एक आपसे वो है, एक अनुरोध है।
रूडी साहब, आपको बहाना मिल गया बोलने का, ये तो रूडी तो है ही नहीं है ना, कुछ नहीं है। आपसे तो दोस्ती है इसलिए कह रहे हैं।
कोई दिक्कत नहीं, माननीय सदस्य प्लीज बैठे।
मैडम,
आप अपनी बात कंप्लीट करिए।
मैडम,
डीजी रहे हैं तो कोई अपराध हुआ अगर राजस्थान में जब आप डीजी थे या हत्या हुआ तो आपने इस्तीफा दिया था क्या?
प्लीज बैठिए, आप अपनी बात कंप्लीट करिए माननीय सदस्य।
मेरे निर्वाचन क्षेत्र में एक रेल परियोजना है अजमेर से सवाई माधोपुर वाया टोंक, वो 2015-16 के बजट में उसका जिक्र है। आज तक सरकार ने कोई ध्यान नहीं दिया। मैं सरकार से मांग करता हूं
धन्यवाद।
अजमेर से वाया टोंक सवाई माधोपुर रेल लाइन को अविलंब चालू किया जाए ताकि वहाँ की जनता को लाभ मिले। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
धन्यवाद अध्यक्ष महोदय, आपने मुझे रेलवे पर बोलने का मौका दिया। भारतीय रेलवे जो अपनी स्थापना 16 अप्रैल 1853 से विकास की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है।
जी, आप पहली बार चुन के आए हो और आप तीसरी बार बोल रहे हो। ये सदन में पहली बार हुआ होगा, नहीं तो 5-5 साल में कई लोगों का नंबर भी नहीं आता था। गलत तो बोलता ही नहीं हूं मैं।
अध्यक्ष महोदय,
It's not our fault that we got re-elected. It appears that we are being penalized. We are not all being called. Only new members are being called. That's good. That's fine.
उम्मीदवार राम जी।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं उस लोकसभा क्षेत्र से आता हूं जो दिल्ली से कई गुना बड़ी और कई राज्यों से क्षेत्रफल की दृष्टि से कई गुना बड़ी है। 60,788 वर्ग किलोमीटर फैली पाकिस्तान की बॉर्डर से लगी हुई करीब 800 किलोमीटर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा लगती है। उतना ही गंभीरता से मेरी बात को आपको लेना चाहिए। ट्रेनों की हालत चिंताजनक है। एक तरफ हम बुलेट ट्रेन की और वंदे भारत की बात करते हैं तो दूसरी तरफ देश की 75% आबादी लोकल डिब्बों के अंदर सफ़र करती है और लोकल डिब्बों की हालत ऐसी है कि पैसेंजर क्या वहाँ चाय वाला भी नहीं घुस सकता है। तो मेरा अध्यक्ष महोदय से अनुरोध है कि लोकल पैसेंजर डिब्बों के अंदर वृद्धि की जाए। दूसरा, जो मेरे संसदीय क्षेत्र का एक महत्वपूर्ण रेलवे प्रोजेक्ट का जो था जैसलमेर बाड़मेर बाबर रेल परियोजना, इसका कई बार सर्वे भी हुआ और इसके 2016 के अंदर 5,000 करोड़ रुपए का बजट भी आवंटित किया। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य की बात ये रही कि उसको परियोजना को घाटे का बताकर उसको ठंडे बस्ते के अंदर डाल दिया। मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है कि बाड़मेर जैसलमेर संसदीय क्षेत्र भौगोलिक दृष्टि से बहुत बड़ा भूभाग है और वहाँ डेवलपमेंट की अपार संभावना है। उनको देखते हुए, खनिज की दृष्टि से देखते हुए, पर्यटन की दृष्टि से देखते हुए, उस क्षेत्र को डेवलपमेंट की दृष्टि से देखते हुए इस महत्वपूर्ण परियोजना के बारे में पुनः विचार किया जाए और इसी बजट के अंदर शामिल करके इस महत्वपूर्ण परियोजना को चालू किया जाए ताकि क्षेत्र के अंदर लोगों को फायदा मिल सके। और चुनाव के दौरान जो कई ट्रेनें संचालित की गई थी, लंबी दूरी की ट्रेनें, उनको आज बंद कर दिया गया। उन ट्रेनों का पुनः संचालन किया जाए। मेरा आपसे निवेदन है कि बाड़मेर दिल्ली सुपरफास्ट एक्सप्रेस जो प्रतिदिन बाड़मेर से शाम 8 बजे करीब चलाया जाता है और दिल्ली सुपरफास्ट रूट परिवर्तन बाड़मेर से जोधपुर रिंगस नीम का थाना होते हुए रेवाड़ी तक चलाई जाती है। इस रेल को बाड़मेर तक किया जाए। बाड़मेर मथुरा सुपरफास्ट यथावत समय पर प्रतिदिन चलाया जाए। जोधपुर बाड़मेर पैसेंजर इसके समय के अंदर परिवर्तन कर दिया था, जो पहले समय पर चल रही थी उसी समय पर चलाया जाए। बाड़मेर रेलवे स्टेशन पर पुनः अनुसंरक्षण हेतु 2 वॉशिंग लाइनों का यार्ड प्रस्तावित रेल मंत्रालय द्वारा प्रस्तावित है। इसकी लागत करीब 200 करोड़ रुपए के करीब है। ये प्रस्ताव 2 साल से फाइल में अटका हुआ है। इस प्रोजेक्ट को पुनः चालू किया जाए। आपसे निवेदन है कि रेल मंत्री जी से मिलकर शीघ्र ही इसको प्रस्तावित स्वीकृति दिलाने की मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा। बाड़मेर अहमदाबाद मुंबई रेल जो प्रतिदिन चलाई जाए। दिल्ली सुपरफास्ट सालासर सुपरफास्ट बाड़मेर तक विस्तार किया जाए। ये रेल 16 घंटे तक वहाँ जोधपुर में खड़ी रहती है। बाड़मेर से कन्याकुमारी साप्ताहिक ट्रेन चलाई जाए और बाड़मेर से चेन्नई सप्ताह के अंदर 1 ट्रेन चलाई जाए। और विशेषकर बाड़मेर के जैसलमेर संसदीय क्षेत्र पर रेल विकास के ऊपर आप विशेष ध्यान दिलाया जाए। और रेल में जो आए दिन घटनाएं होती है, पिछले कई दिनों में 7-8 ऐसी बड़ी घटनाएं होती जो रेल पटरी से उतर जाती है। तो रेल का संचालन का जो सिस्टम है उसके अंदर सुधार लाने की ज़रूरत है और विशेष ध्यान देने की ज़रूरत है। जो रेलवे लोको पायलट एवं गार्ड उनकी ड्यूटी का कोई समय निर्धारित नहीं रहता, उनको जो फैसिलिटी बराबर नहीं दी जाती, उनको रेस्ट करने का समय नहीं मिलता। इस कारण वो तनाव में रहते हैं और आए दिन रेल की दुर्घटनाएं बढ़ने की संभावना रहती है। तो आपके माध्यम से अनुरोध है कि रेलवे के सिस्टम के अंदर स्टाफ को अधिक सुविधाएं दी जाए और बाड़मेर जैसलमेर के ऊपर विशेष ध्यान दिया जाए। धन्यवाद।
Honorable Chairperson, I am thankful for giving me this opportunity and time to talk on demand for grants on railway budget. Honorable Chairperson, sir, I am elected from the most backward parliamentary constituency, Nagar Kurnool of Telangana state. During the reorganization of Andhra Pradesh state, 9 out of 10 districts of Telangana were declared as backward districts by the then central government. My parliamentary constituency falls in 4 districts: Nagar Kurnool, Vanaparthi, Jogulamba, Gadwala and Rangareddy districts. Out of 7 assembly constituencies falling under Nagar Kurnool parliamentary constituency, only 1 assembly constituency, Gadwala, is connected with the railway line. There is a long pending demand for a new railway line from Gadwala to Macharla via Vanaparthi, Nagar Kurnool and Achampeta. This line was surveyed more than once and shelved with a reason: the returns are not remunerable. Number 2, another new line between Jadcherla to Nangyala via Nagar Kurnool, Kolhapur was surveyed in the year 2006 and shelved for the same reason, that the returns are not remunerable. Third, presently there is 1 new railway line from Dornakal to Gadwala via Suryapet, Nakrekal, Nalgonda, Kalavukurti, Nagar Kurnool and Vanaparthi is under survey. This new line should be taken up on priority immediately after the completion of the survey. In addition to the very important Dornakal to Gadwala, the above mentioned lines 1 to 2 should also be taken under the backward area development scheme as a special case, so that the doors for the development of the area will be opened. Railway coach factory at Hajipet should be taken up as promised under the Bifurcation Act of Andhra Pradesh. A huge sum of land belonging to the railways is available in Gadwala, where a polytechnic college, an engineering college, and a super specialty railway hospital should be established. Now I come to whole of Telangana state other than my constituency. There is one railway line under survey from Vikarabad to Krishna via Kodangal, Narayanpet and Maktal. This line is also very important for the development of Vikarabad, Kodangal, Narayanpet and Maktal. Hence I request the Honorable Railway Minister to take up these lines in the current financial year. There is a new line under survey from Patancheru to Adilabad via Nizamabad district. Another new line from Ramagundam to Munuguru. Survey is going on. Karimnagar to Asanpatti, new railway line survey is going on. The above said 3 proposed new lines which are under survey may be taken up in the current railway budget, which will help to improve the connectivity and development of these backward areas.
Honorable member, please conclude.
I also advise the Honorable Minister to bring punctuality, safety and facilities to the passengers. The progress which we are showing in this railway budget should not be only symbol of progress. It should be a symbol of catalyst for other developments. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Sir, the railway budget is also highlighting the PM Gati Shakti mission, which is interested to connect 3 economic railway corridors. That is for energy, minerals, cement, port connectivity. This is for getting financial benefit to the railways and to the nation. I agree, sir. But I also wanted the Honorable Railway Minister to have one PM Gati Shakti mission for developing the backward states and backward areas. If you take that mission work, sir, our state Telangana, which is a most backward state, will get the benefit.
Thank you,
of
Maravizi.
railways connecting the cities
Iti Mohammed
which are
Basirji.
not in the railway till
Please
now.
conclude.
And the
Honorable
doors
member,
of
please conclude.
development will be open to the backward area also.
Thank you.
With this,
this opportunity to speak on demand for grant on railway. Sir Agatha Christie, a famous English novelist, said that to travel by train is to see nature, human beings, towns and churches and rivers. In fact, to see life. Indeed, Indian Railway is, as Mrs. Christie said, a reflection of Indian life, its richness, its poverty and its diversity. Jawaharlal Nehru praised the Indian Railway as an example of the success story of state enterprises and public sector. Sir, as Indian Railway is the blood vessel of Indian economy, so, sir, it must be kept in public sector. Sir, partial privatization of the Indian Railway has been witnessed in specific segments, such as the involvement of the Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation in ticketing and catering services under the present government. On July 1st, 2020, the Ministry of Railways announced the operation of 151 trains in 190 pairs of routes by private sectors. This accounts for just 5% of the 2,800 express and mail services operated by Indian Railways. Sir, there is a valid concern that the privatization of railways will lead to a rise in ticket fares affecting the common man who relies on railways as a mode of transportation. Moreover, the move to privatize railways will impact job opportunities for people from economically and socially backward classes, sir. Sir, as always, the union government is Mr. Bumble towards Kerala regarding railway development, despite claims by the railway minister that the centre has allotted a significant amount to Kerala for railway development. The latest union budget has given only a small portion to the southern state. According to budget figures, Kerala ranks third among the Indian states that received the least allotment for railways. Sir, the best example of the neglect meted out to Kerala by the centre in railway development is the failure to commission even a single kilometre of track in the state for passenger trains during the last 10 years. The budget is silent on phase 4 of the Kochuveli master plan, and no significant allotment was given for the Angamali-Erumeli track. Sir, Kanyanad-Kaniyur rail link is the most cherished aspirations of my constituency, Kasaragod, but sir, it is still non-started. Sir, the government of India has discontinued the railway budget. It should be resumed. Kerala has very inadequate railway infrastructure. Much awaited Kanyanad-Kaniyur railway line connecting Kanyanad with Mysore and Bangalore through Kaniyur, and the Shabari rail link connecting Angamali with Erumeli is still pending with the Southern Railway for approval. Sir, the construction of railway flyovers in North Malabar has commenced years back, have been in my constituency, Kasaragod, 10 such flyovers have been proposed, but still all the work is progressing at snail's pace. The construction of some flyovers has not even started, and other ROVs
Honourable member,
still
please, on for 1 second, please. माननीय सदस्यगण, just a minute. माननीय सदस्यगण, मेरे पास बोलने वाले की काफ़ी लंबी सूची है. यदि सभा को सहमति हो तो सभा का समय 10 बजे तक बढ़ा दिया जाए. Thank you. Please continue.
So I would like to point some matters from my constituency. Sir, I would like to bring for the attention of the railway minister is that a sufficient number of train services to adequately cater the traffic needs of the commuters from the northern part of Kerala. Sir, we introduced comparing the number of services towards south up to Trivandrum. It is very less towards northern part of Kerala and beyond. Yet another point is that the concession in ticket charges allowed for senior citizen withdrawn to be resumed. Also, the ticket charges applicable to express train introduced to local passenger trains during COVID-19 period should be withdrawn, and stoppages of the trains cancelled in certain railway station during the corona period should be fully restored with immediate effect, sir. Sir, many trains have to spend more time due to sharp curves at some railway station loop lines. The loop lines leading to platform number 1 at Cheruvattur and Neeleshwaram, line from south, have very sharp curve. Also, the line from north at Kanyanad railway station, steps are to be taken to ease these curves so that the running time of train can be reduced considerably. Sir, more local memo passenger trains between Kannur and Mangalore should have been introduced. Presently, this section has least number of passenger train. Conversion of passenger trains to express, if it travels more than 200 kilometers, is a heavy blow to ordinary people. The fare increase without additional facility and with same old long running time with lots of stoppages. Hence, this decision be taken back and newly started Kannur passenger train should extend it up to Kasaragod and Mangalore. Sir, one more point. It's very important. The After 6 o'clock in the evening, there is no train service from Calicut to northern part of Kerala. So it is highly essential to start passenger trains from Calicut to northern part after 6 in the evening. So I am going to conclude.
Thank you,
So I am going to conclude, sir. I am going to conclude. I am going to conclude my last verse. In short, I would like to state that the Union Budget 2024 is silently undermining the Indian Railways, the crown jewel of our public sector. Federal principles are given scan regarding fund
Thank you,
allocations,
Unthanji. Now,
and therefore the
Honorable
whole
Member
process
V.
is
Selvaraj.
disappointing, sir.
Honorable Member V. Selvaraj ji.
Thank you very much.